Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. I just finished watching the Season 1 finale of My Adventures with Superman and wanted to give you guys my thoughts on not only the episode, but the entire season as a whole. As per usual with these types of videos, there will be spoilers at a certain point, and I will let you know once they are coming. But first and foremost, let's get into the spoiler-free thoughts on not only the season finale, but the season as a whole. And overall, from episode 1 all the way through episode 10, I have thoroughly enjoyed this series. As I said leading up to the show, this series is really giving us a different perspective on Superman. He's not this really powerful character that's mastered his powers. He's someone who's coming of age. He's trying to figure out who he is as not only a person, but as a superhero, and that I have thoroughly enjoyed, along with the different relationships in the show as well, with Jimmy Olsen and with Lois Lane. And now with the finale itself, I thought it was an interesting send-off for the season and, leading into season 2, because there is going to be a second season of this series, and we're getting a little bit of a teaser as to what's to come. So with all of that being said, we're now going to enter the spoilers section, so spoilers ahead, you have been warned. Throughout this season of My Adventures with Superman, we've seen Clark come to terms with who he is, being an alien from another world, and in his mind he thinks he was sent to invade the Earth and really conquer the planet and terminate all the humans. But nevertheless, we see in this episode, in the finale, that he's starting to learn that maybe that wasn't his purpose. Maybe that wasn't the reason why he was sent. Coming off of Zero Day, the big 2-part back-to-back episodes, we see that the General's new plan, or his new orders I should say, is to hunt down and kill Superman. And they were kind of teasing in that episode with a line that one of the characters said that, oh, Clark reminds you, or rather Superman reminds you of your daughter, or reminds you of her. And the moment they said that, I thought, oh, I wonder if his daughter is Lois Lane. And we find out in this finale that indeed Lois's father, who she says throughout the series she doesn't have the greatest relationship with, is indeed the General who is trying to kill her boyfriend, who is trying to kill Superman. So all of this is going to come to a head when the Clarks invite everyone over for Thanksgiving. They invite not only Jimmy Olsen, they invite not only Lois Lane, but Lois's father as well. And this is the moment in time where Clark realizes my girlfriend's dad is the guy who's trying to kill me. He is the General, and he immediately goes to talk to his mother about not liking the father, and his mother's like, you gotta like your girlfriend's father. She doesn't understand what's going on. But the moment Jimmy walks in, he tells Jimmy, this is the guy, this is the General, and he says, okay, you gotta tell Lois what's going on, you gotta tell Lois. And when he's going to do so, they accidentally drop the orb that they got in the episode with all the different Loises from all the different universes, which happens to hold kryptonite, the weakness to Superman, inside of it. It activates the kryptonite and starts to kind of cripple Clark. Clark is just really out of it, and it wakes up the mothership that he was sent on, and all of a sudden the events of Zero Day are re-happening in the eyes of the General. The portal is going to reopen, the invasion is going to take place again, and he goes straight into being Lois's father at dinner, or at Thanksgiving dinner I should say, or just socializing with people, to being the General who is trying to kill Superman. And all of this is happening while Lois is trying to stop him from harming Clark, while Clark is trying to stop the aliens, stop the robots from harming them, from invading Earth. To fast forward a little bit, obviously some fights happen. Clark ends up defeating the mothership that he was sent on using the kryptonite, and his father, who he keeps seeing throughout the series in visions or holograms or whatever it is, comes to him and finally tells him, my son, you need to choose life. And so we're gonna get into, I think, in season 2, Clark learning about who he is as Superman and where he came from and all of this. We've gotten a little bit of that this season with him learning he's from the planet Krypton, learning that he's an alien, but I think we're really gonna dive into that more in season 2. And on top of that, when he crashes down back to the Earth, back to land, Lois's father, the General, goes to kill him, and Lois says, no, Dad, you can't kill him. And he says, Lois, you don't understand what's going on, you don't understand the gravity of the situation. And she doesn't exactly tell him that Clark is Superman, but she says that if you care about me, you will let him live. And she starts tearing up, and he just backs off at that point and calls off the reinforcements that were being sent, and he quickly disappears after that. So I think in the next season what's going to happen is we're gonna start to see the General turn a bit. In the prior episodes on Zero Day Part 1 and 2, we kind of see that he's rethinking that, are we doing the right thing here with Superman? Is he really the invader? Because he's too young to have been one of the invaders 20-something years ago. He's just a young adult. He couldn't have been an invader 20 plus years ago. Then to wrap things up with the episode, we see that the new villain for season 2 is teased at the end, and they're these two robots who I guess are trying to invade the planet Earth and are invading and conquering different worlds. I'm not too familiar with Superman as a comic book series, so if you guys know who this character is, feel free to leave it in the comment section below and let me know who it is. All I know is that it's a cool alien looking robot who wants to invade the Earth. The only two small other things that happen in this episode is they are all promoted from interns to full-time reporters, and Jimmy Olsen sold his social media channel, Flamebird, to the Daily Planet for $5.6 million, so he is a millionaire now, and I'm kind of curious to see if he uses some of those resources to help Clark, to help him build an army to, stop this invasion from happening. Maybe the Brain and the Gorilla, I forgot the gorilla's name from a few episodes prior, maybe they work with Jimmy to kind of make this army of mutants or something to try to stop the alien threat. Now, as for the season as a whole, as I said before, I have truly enjoyed every episode of this show. It really, to me, is a breath of fresh air for something that I know it's on Adult Swim, but it's something that, Warner Bros. Animation, Cartoon Network Studios, they've been really following the same formula over the past decade plus. They haven't really deviated away from just making comedies or making shows that are lighter and not as serious as what they used to do. And coming off of Unicorn Warriors Eternal and then watching this is just really a breath of fresh air. I said something similar in my Fiona and Cake first impressions video, but it's just like back to back to back, these three shows being the two I just mentioned prior and Fiona and Cake, they're really just breathing a breath of fresh air into not only Adult Swim but Max as well, and a little bit Cartoon Network. I know Cartoon Network's not playing them per se, but it is all being made outside of My Adventures with Superman by Cartoon Network Studios. I'm just really excited to see where we go from here. I think that the relationships that Clark has built in this season have been great. The vibes of the show have been great. I predicted that the finale was going to be that Lois finds out Clark is Superman, and that happened at episode 5. So the show has been a bit unpredictable at times. It's been surprising in a good way, and I've really enjoyed it thus far, and I think that season 2 is just going to take it to another level, because this season has really just been meant to be the kind of introductory or origin story for Superman. He's coming into his own with his powers. He's starting to activate new powers as the season has progressed, learn more about him, where he's came from, and he's dealt with some more minor threats this season. Task Force X, he's dealt with just some criminals who stole some equipment, but now going into season 2, he's actually going to be fighting real aliens. He's going to be fighting something that he probably knows very little to nothing about, and just from seeing the characters that were teased at the end of the episode for season 2, they seem like they're going to be pretty formidable foes. And I think that as serious as season 1 was at times, I feel like season 2 is going to take it to a whole nother level, and I really can't wait to see it, and I hope that the wait isn't too long. And the last thing I'll say before signing off on this video is, coming off of Zero Day Part 2, I really thought that served as a proper finale for this season. I was like, where are they going to go with the next episode, because the General's being set up as the big bad for season 2, and I couldn't have been farther from being wrong. The General seems like he might end up becoming somewhat of an ally for Superman in season 2, which I think it was more likely than not that the General was eventually going to turn over a new leaf and become an ally for Superman, but I think it's going to happen a lot quicker than I would have anticipated initially. And overall, like I said before, I've just been pleasantly surprised by this series. I was expecting it to be good, but not as good as I thought it was. I mean, I really enjoyed this show. Just to compare it real quick to the other Adult Swim series that came out this year, Unicorn Warriors Eternal, you guys can let me know in the comment section below, but for me personally, I think I've enjoyed My Adventures with Superman more than I enjoyed Unicorn Warriors Eternal, and I really enjoyed Unicorn Warriors Eternal. But anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What did you guys think about the first season of My Adventures with Superman? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.